afternoon. My name is José Rodríguez and I represent El Paso State Senator. But today I want you to know that on these issues of justice, on dignity and fairness, I represent all of you. I want to welcome you to the state capitol. All of you look beautiful out there. I also want to thank you for making your voices heard this afternoon in standing up for Texas. You all know that we face a tremendous challenge here in the state. We're in dire financial straits. People tell us that we have a $27 billion projected budget deficit. But despite this, the state's leadership is focused on the wrong priorities. Instead of focusing on making Texas a better place to live for everyone, a better place to live, the governor's emergency items attack Latinos and immigrant communities. So, in this session, just to give you an indication, you know about many of these, we've seen bills that mandate that public schools inquire into the citizenship and immigration status of students. Bills that disqualify children of undocumented parents from receiving state benefits and from even citizenship protected under the 14th Amendment. We see bills also that make it impossible for immigrant students, and I see some of you out here perhaps, being able to go to college. Now, we have our governor wanting to make sure that law enforcement officers are checking Latinos' immigration status. A job that belongs to the federal government. Instead of wanting to make our neighborhoods safe, they want to focus on your immigration status. Make no mistake about this, friends. These anti-sanctuary city bills, these Arizona-type bills, they're not only anti-immigrant, they're also anti-law enforcement. They're also anti-taxpayer. These are bills that are expensive, they're costly, they impede police investigations, and most dangerous of all, our own law enforcement professionals have told the legislators that these laws only make our communities less safe, not more safe. Instead of patrolling neighborhoods, police and sheriff's departments must take more cost in enforcing federal immigration laws and hurting their relationship with the people that they serve. Safe cities, they have told us, our law enforcement officers, safe cities are built on trust between law enforcement and their community. These bills would hurt that trust and make people less inclined to report crime. Police officers need to be able to fight crime without regard to a person's immigration status. That is why in my very first bill that I filed here in the Capitol, Senate Bill 600, is aimed at protecting the victims and the witnesses to crime from being asked about their immigration status. Cooperation by victims and witnesses to crime with law enforcement is essential to keep our community safe everywhere. These anti-sanctuary city bills, endorsed by the state's leadership, however, promote not more security, but more insecurity. So, I want to tell you that your presence here today, your being here today, is proof that we are not going to stand for this type of legislation. Latinos